everyone, welcome back again to my channel. In this video we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful Bubu Kaftan with V neckline and Aso Oke Pocket. It also has this beautiful bow at the back. If this is what you're interested in learning, then keep watching. I started by placing my fabric on a fold of 4 using my sleeve length as the measurement. From the folded edge, I went ahead to mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inches, and then I also measured from that 7.5 inches my sleeve length. So my sleeve length is 14.5 inches, but I'll be marking 12.5 inches because I'm going to be adding ashoke to the sleeve, and the width of my ashoke is 2 inches. So 2 inches plus 12.5 inches gives me a total of 12.5 inches. So on that point I just marked now, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. The next thing I did was to mark 7 inches for the neck depth of the front neckline, and then I also marked 8.5 inches for the neck depth of the back neckline. So after that, I marked 3 inches for the neck width, and then I connected from my shoulder slope to my neck width of 3 inches. I also connected both the front and back neck depth to my neck width like this. So now the next thing I will do is to mark my sleeve opening, and I'll be making use of 9 inches for my sleeve opening, which includes the seam allowance. Now it is time to mark the body measurement. So I'll be making use of the largest body measurement, which is my hip. So I'm going to be marking from the folded edge, quarter of my hip circumference, which is 10.5, and then I'm going to be adding 4 inches to that. So that 4 inches will serve as allowance for ease and also stitching allowance. So I'm just going to repeat this measurement all the way to the length of my fabric. Okay, so I'm making use of a length of 59 inches, and I added 1 inch for seam allowance. So I'm just going to mark this measurement all the way down. We connect all the markings with my free hand. You can also use a straight ruler if you cannot use your free hand. So when I get to my sleeve opening, I'm just going to extend the line outward like this, and then I'm just going to give that corner a curve. So after that, I'm going to measure what I have on this upper part here, and then I'm going to also put down the same thing on the sleeve opening and then connect it into a straight line like this. And we are basically done with the drafting of both the front and the back. So I'm just going to cut out my fabric now. So watch closely how I'm cutting this. I'm going to be cutting the front neckline first because the back neckline now is deeper than the front neckline, and you don't want both of them to be deeper. So I will start off by cutting off the front neckline. Just watch how I'm cutting this so that you do not make mistake when you're cutting yours.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating.
So after cutting it, I'm going to be removing the one inside, which is going to be the front piece, and then I'm going to cut the neckline of the other piece that is left, which will serve as the back. Having done that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut a facing for both the front and the back. So I'm done cutting my facing, and this is what it looks like. Okay, this is the front facing now. What I'm just going to do is to lay out the fabric flat on my table like this, right side facing up, and then I'm going to be placing the facing right side facing the right side of the fabric, just as you can see on the screen. Then I'm going to stitch around the neckline with 1/2 inch. Now for the back facing, you're going to be stitching that a little bit differently from the front. So what you're going to do now is to place it right side facing each other like this, and then you're going to sew from the top of the neckline by 1/2 inch. You sew down 1/2 inch, and then you're going to leave a space of 1 inch, and then you continue sewing till you get to the other end. So on this other side as well, you're also going to sew down by 1/2 inch, leave a space of 1 inch, and then continue sewing. Just look at how I'm demonstrating it on the screen if you do not understand what I'm saying. After turning my neckline with the facing, this is what I have. This is the opening I was explaining, the 1 inch. That is going to be for the rope at the back, the strap at the back. Okay, so this is what the front neckline looks like, and I've also gone to give it a very good press. So moving on, so to cut the strap at the back, you're just going to bring in the piece you cut out for the neckline. Okay, so I'm just going to take the measurement of what I have here. I have about 6.5 inches thereabout, and then I'm going to be adding 1 inch to that, which is going to be for seam allowance. That is what I use to cut out this little piece of fabric over here, and this fabric measures 3 inches in width and on fold is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to be stitching by half of an inch on one side, and then I'll turn it out, iron it, and this is what it looks like. Now to attach this is very simple. All you just have to do is pick up your fabric and insert it in that little opening we left earlier, and then you're going to stitch all the way down. Just secure it with a stitch, and after that repeat the same thing on the other side. Insert it in the other opening and then secure it with a couple of stitches, and that is how you get the strap at the back. After doing that, you're going to place the front and the back together, right side facing each other, and then you're going to join the shoulders with half of an inch. And having done that, this is what you should have. So the next thing now is to attach my ashoke to the sleeve fabric like this, and then you're going to take the measurement you have from one point to the other. So whatever you have there, you're going to use that to cut out your ashoke fabric, and the width of your ashoke fabric depends on whatever width your ashoke fabric comes in. For mine, I think it's a little bit too long, so I had to like cut it into two just to give me what I want, and this is exactly what you see me doing on the screen. So I'm just going to place the ashoke right side facing the fabric, and then I'm going to stitch with half of an inch. Then I will also iron it so that it stays flat and clean. I'll do the same thing to the other sleeve. This is what I have after stitching the ashoke to the sleeve. As you can see how everything is coming together now. Our bubu is coming together nice and clean. So the next thing we're going to do now is to work on the pocket. So for the pocket, I've made one of it already. I'll be using the other pocket to explain to us how I came about it. So what we want to do is to get a piece of ashoke fabric that measures 26 inches thereabout. Okay, and after taking that measurement, you're going to cut it out, then fold it into two. So when you fold that into two, you have something about 13.5 inches. So after that, you're going to stitch at the middle the way I am demonstrating. Just follow this line I drew at the middle, stitch it diagonally, and once you're done with that, when you open it up, you have something that looks like this. So I've done that, and this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do now is to cut off the excess and leave about half of an inch. Okay, so just go ahead and cut out the excess. After cutting off the excess, open it up like this and give it a very good press. Okay, so this is what my pocket is looking like now. I'm just going to cut out the little excess I have down there. Okay, so after that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to measure the height of my pocket. So I'm going to be taking a measurement of 10 inches or 10.5 inches, whichever one you want to use. I think I use 10 inches for this pocket. And how do I measure this? I'm going to be measuring from the sides, not at the middle now. I'm going to take from the end, that pointed edge. I'm going to place my tape and measure 10 inches upward like this. I will make a mark. I'll also do the same thing on the other side. Start taking your measurement from the pointed edge. So once you are done with that, you're going to use your ruler, or you can use your free hand to connect the 2 points together, just as I'm demonstrating on the screen like this. Okay, so having done that, the next thing to do is to fold that line inward like this. Just go ahead and fold it in like this, and then you're going to give it a really good press.
Feeding this demon, got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. And I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on.
So this is what my two pocket looks like. You can see the process is very straightforward, easy and simple to replicate. Okay, so now we're going to be attaching this pocket to our fabric. And how do we do that? You're going to open up your fabric. Remember, we've not joined the sides together. Okay, so you're going to open it up like this. All right, and then from the neckline, I'm going to be taking a measurement of 17 inches. You can make use of your shoulder to your half length to place your pocket. Okay, so I'm using 17 inches and I'm marking it on both sides, and then I'm going to connect the 2 points together with my straight ruler, just as you can see on the screen. And afterwards, I'm going to be getting the middle of my front piece. Okay, I'm going to measure what I have from one point to another, and then I'm going to get the middle. All right, so after doing that, I'm going to be marking the position of my pocket. So I'm going to be coming out from the middle by 2.5 inches on both sides, as you can see on the screen. Then I'll bring in my pocket and place it on that 2.5 inches mark, just as you can see me aligning it on the screen. Then I'm going to secure with my pin so that it will be easy for me to stitch down when I'm about to sew it, or when I'm sewing it already. So once you are done attaching the pocket, you want to join the side seams together. Okay, just place them right side facing each other like this, and then I'm going to be stitching the side from the sleeve all the way down with 1 inch, okay, which is my stitching allowance, and I will also stitch the hemline as well. So this is what my bubu looks like after stitching everything. I also notched that curved area, and I gave it a really good press, as you can see. So we're almost done with this. The last thing to do on this dress is to attach the bow at the back. Okay, remember there is a bow at the back of this bubu dress, so we're going to cut the bow now. Cut the bow. I have this piece of fabric that measures 20 inches by 14 inches. Okay, note that this is to my preference. If you want your bow bigger, you want to increase the measurement to your taste, right? So I have 14 inches by 20 inches here, and I'm going to be folding along the 20 inches mark. Okay, once I do that, I'm going to stitch with half of an inch, and then I'm going to turn it inside out like I'm demonstrating on the screen. Then I'm going to give it a good press. Now after ironing it flat, the next thing to do is to fold it together like this, and then I'm going to be stitching with half of an inch, just as I'm demonstrating on the screen. So this is what it looks like. If you have a weaving machine, you can go ahead and weave the raw edges. Okay, and after this, you're going to be turning it inside out like this, and then you're going to make a pleat. Just use your hand to pleat it together at the middle to form the bow, just as I'm demonstrating on the screen. And for the rope that you're going to use to keep it in place, I went ahead to cut a piece of fabric that measures something around 5 inches by 1 inch. Okay, so I'm just going to use that. I already turned this out. All right, you want to turn it out to make sure it is nice and clean. And then I'm going to pleat this bow again, and I will use this little piece of fabric to wrap it. I'll take this to my sewing machine now and secure the two together. Having done that, this is what the bow looks like. Okay, so the next thing and the final step is to attach this bow to the back of the dress. So you can use your needle and thread to attach this. Okay, just make sure you attach it nicely and make it very neat and clean. And with that, we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you find this video helpful, please do not forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not subscribed already, and do not forget to also turn on your post notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be the first person to be notified. You can also go ahead and share this video with your fellow soulmates. Share it with people that will find it helpful, and let me know all your questions in the comment section. Right, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for supporting me.